The Culture Pop Podcast is brought to you by the law offices of Jacob Emrani.
Accident or injury, call Jacob Emrani. Call Jacob.
Hey, it's Mase. If you or a friend or loved one is injured in an accident, the first person you should call is my friend Jacob. When I did this, Jacob was great. He helped me by talking through the next steps, which really put my mind at ease. When you're injured in an accident, you got to have an expert. That's why you call Jacob, just like I did. Call Jacob, 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB, or visit calljacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Culture Pop Podcast. I'm Steve Mason, along with 𝐂𝐥𝐸𝐦𝐞, the show where we talk about everything happening in the world of pop culture. Elex Michaelson is going to join us coming up. He used to be at Fox 11. Now he's big time over at CNN. We'll talk to him about a bunch of stuff. Sue Ballou, how you been? What's up?
I've been good. I just came back from Seattle, where I do a lot of editing on my doc. And making
Coming
a lot
along?
of strides. Yeah, it's coming along. It's really, really great. I'm having a really, really good time. And it feels so good because I haven't worked in so long. It feels so good to just be sitting with an editor and doing what I did, so much of my career.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been great. Very fulfilling.
What's the ETA? Estimated time of arrival is 2026?
Oh, yeah, we're going to finish it this year.
For sure this year? Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. Cool. I'm excited. I'm excited. Well, before we get to Elex, I got some stuff about the Golden Globes. The Golden Globes happened this Sunday in Beverly Hills, and Nikki Glaser was the host. I thought the awards kind of went predictably. Is it fair to say predictably? First off, what did you think of Nikki Glaser in that room?
I think she's wonderful.
Yeah.
I think she's really funny. And she has an edge, which I like. She doesn't play it safe. She had great jokes, and I thought she did a great job. And I'm sure she'll be back next year.
No question. My favorite joke actually was the George Clooney joke. I've always wanted to ask this question. It might be unprofessional, but here goes. My Nespresso has been coming out kind of watery, and I'm wondering, is it like a pod issue, or do you think it might be the filter? It's like gentle razzing was perfect for George Clooney. Yes.
Well, my favorite jokes were more of a political bent. I mean, her CBS jokes were hysterical.
CBS jokes, yeah.
Best editing, CBS. And what was it? There was another one that was great. Oh, most editing was CBS.
Most editing, yeah.
Best editing was the Justice Department.
Yes.
I thought that the joke that she had with Leonardo was very funny. She talked about all his accomplishments and said he's accomplished so much before his girlfriend turned 30.
Fantastic.
Funny. Little ribbing, but a funny joke, not a happy joke.
By the way, super subtle joke that I liked that was a thinker. The Rock is nominated tonight, and luckily for him, the TV show The Paper is not, so he might win. So, I mean, it's just kind of a little throwaway, but made me laugh. Gentle, funny, involved one of the celebrities, the Leo stuff. The Sean Penn stuff I thought was really funny. Slowly morphing into a red leather bag.
Right.
It was very funny.
Yeah. She was good. She was good. And I thought Judd Apatow was very funny.
Very funny. He was the funniest presenter of the night.
And then I was reading stuff about it, and people were like, "Oh God, he was doing like his act or something," and he went on for too long. And I just thought it was hysterical, and having this gripe with Ridley Scott with The Martian,
yes,
as opposed to when Trainwreck was nominated,
right.
I thought he was great, and I thought that the Smartless guys were very, very funny.
Very funny. Yeah,
their
did
gag.
A good job. Jason Bateman's bit was really funny. Yeah,
very funny.
Yeah. So it was, I mentioned, kind of predictable. One battle after another, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, won 4 awards, including Best Picture, Comedy, Best Screenplay, Best Director, and then Tiana Taylor won for Best Supporting Actress, which was a little bit of a surprise. I didn't necessarily see that coming. Now it makes sense. You got Leo, you got Sean Penn, you got Benicio del Toro, you got Jason Finity. Really, really great cast. For me, that is the movie of the year and should be winning everything.
Yes, and if this is a precursor, which sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't.
Yep.
Paul Thomas Anderson. I mean, I think this is his year to finally win a well-deserved Oscar.
Yes, completely agree. Now, in that comedy category, how many of the others did you see? Here's a weird thing, Sue. So we've not been doing the show. Show has been a little bit sporadic here, but I have seen every movie this year, including the foreign language movies, except for one. I haven't seen The Secret Agent starring Wagner Moura yet, which is supposed to be a terrific Brazilian film, but I've seen everything else. So in that comedy category, let me just ask you, did you see Blue Moon starring Ethan Hawke?
I had not.
Funny, but also really sad. It's the story of Lawrence Hart after he breaks up with his partner, Richard Rodgers, and Rodgers goes on to write Oklahoma, and Lawrence Hart dies tragically. Spoiler alert. Begonia. Did you see Begonia? Yes, you did.
I did.
Yeah, I love that movie. Marty Supreme. Have you seen it yet?
I loved it.
Yeah, it's so good. Josh Safdie, starring Timothée Chalamet. It's definitely one of the movies of the year. Why'd you like it?
I love the pacing of it. I love the way it was shot. The acting was great. The script was great. Oh, that was another thing. Timothée Chalamet. I loved what he said. He says, I never thought when I was 17 or something like that I'd be thanking Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah, that's
was
awesome.
Hysterical.
Yeah, that is awesome.
And I'm not a fan of Mr. Wonderful, but he was really good in the movie, I thought.
He was good. I thought he was excellent. Yeah, he was kind of a natural. The only other movie in that category, comedy, is No Other Choice. It's a Korean film directed by Park Chan-wook, which I absolutely loved. So you should check that out. Look for that. Korean film, No Other Choice, and great lead performance and legendary Korean director Park Chan-wook. All right, Best Motion Picture Drama. It was won by a movie that I genuinely dislike, Hamnet. Now, you liked Hamnet, right?
I did, very much.
I thought it was just
I don't get
emotional.
I know, but it was emotional.
But I mean, so like one note, just like trauma. It was just like a trauma movie. I don't want that much trauma when I go to the movies.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I overlook certain things when the performances are so good. You know, the little boy who played Hamnet
was great.
Oh my God. And I
Yeah,
guess
so good.
I'm trying to I know I read why he couldn't be nominated. Was it wasn't his age. What was it why he couldn't be nominated? Because he was
Is it because there were two kids playing one role? Like twin brothers playing one role, maybe?
I don't know. I don't know. And that was his real brother.
Oh, was it? Oh, there you
That's
go.
his real brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie didn't work for me because I thought it was chilly and I never really connected with anybody. I loved the final scenes during the production of Hamlet. I thought those were very moving, but otherwise I thought it was such a one-note movie. But it won Best Motion Picture Drama, and it may be the biggest challenger to One Battle After Another for Best Picture. Also in that drama category, Frankenstein. Did you see that?
Yes, and I really liked it.
I did too. I thought it was fantastic, visual, spectacular. Did you see Sentimental Value?
I saw it last night.
What'd you think?
I loved it.
Yeah, I did too.
It was such
really
a great, what a great story.
Yeah, great story.
Just the way it became, it came full circle. It was really wonderful.
And Stellan Skarsgård, of course, won Best Supporting Actor for Sentimental Value, which is a Norwegian film. The Secret Agent, which again, I have not seen yet, but everybody says is fantastic. Wagner Moura, who's the star of The Secret Agent, actually won Best Actor Drama at the Golden Globes on Sunday. And Sinners, which is one of my favorite movies this year. I just think I've never seen anything like it. Great music. It's the best musical vampire movie ever made.
It was just a stunning movie.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, and the music was incredible. I mean, it had everything. I look at One Battle After Another, and I can kind of say the same thing. But this was such an endeavor of the directing and all the special effects, and I thought it was a great story too.
Great story. Yeah. The other one in that category, by the way, this is another one you should check out. It is streaming now. It's directed by Jafar Panahi. It's an Iranian film, and it's called It Was Just an Accident. Definitely one of my top couple of movies of the year. I think The director, Jafar Panahi, is going to be nominated for Best Director at the Oscars. He has been, he's Iranian. He's been very vocal about the protesters there and what's going on and helping those folks try to unseat the Islamic regime that's there. So I think there's an emotional thing, but it's also just a really, really good movie. Kind of a black comedy. I really like it.
Okay.
Best Actor, we mentioned Wagner Moura won. Timothée Chalamet won for Best Actor Comedy. He absolutely deserves it. He was, again, you mentioned the pacing, that frenetic sort of pace, and kind of an unlikable guy that somehow just works for me as a character. Incredibly flawed, but I think he really delivers and hits notes that you wouldn't expect in that role.
So the director's last name was Safdie? Is that how you pronounce it?
Safdie, correct.
Safdie.
He and his brother are the ones that did Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler.
And I mean, you could see that influence in this film because that movie was so frenetic. And the pacing in that movie. So it definitely did have a very similar feel in that respect.
It was pointed out to me by one that Timothée Chalamet may have changed his approach to awards speeches. He gave again, I like the speech where he talked about Michael Phelps. He talked about Marlon Brando. He talked about Michael Jordan, all that stuff. A lot of people rubbed the wrong way. And Chalamet now we're seeing with a very sort of humble, grateful, kind of likable way about him, as opposed to being cocky and that's my award kind of thing. So I think he's taking the right approach this year, whether that's conscious, like I'm going to do it different to win, or it's just him growing up and evolving a little bit.
And I like the choices he makes as an actor. He's a young guy, and I haven't seen him make a bad movie, and I'm sure he gets offered a lot of crap.
Yep.
And, he's not just taking shit for the money. I think he takes a lot of pride in the roles that he plays. And I think he's a terrific actor.
Best Actress Drama was Jessie Buckley from Hamnet. I get it. I get it. She's really, really good, especially in that final sequence during the production of Hamlet. And Best Actress Comedy was Rose Byrne, If I Had Legs, I'd Kicked You, which I saw. And it's not funny. It does not make me laugh at all. I just think they are so randomly putting movies into different categories. It's not a comedy, but it's a really good movie. It's kind of a harrowing movie about being a young mother. That's the way I would describe that movie. And Rose Byrne is terrific.
I watched half of it and I couldn't get through it.
No?
No.
Why not?
I wasn't getting it. I don't know.
It was all her perspective, right?
No, I understand it was her perspective, but it just, I don't know. It just was, it was disturbing and not in a way that was compelling for me.
Interesting. Okay. I do love Rose Byrne. I'm glad she won. I think if anybody were to beat Jessie Buckley, it would be Rose Byrne, but I do think Jessie Buckley is going to win the Oscar. Best Supporting Actor, Stellan Skarsgård, Sentimental Value won. He absolutely deserves it. Legendary guy. Has made so many. Sometimes you just waiting for the right moment to recognize a guy that's been in so many movies over the years, and that's Stellan Skarsgård. Always gives a really interesting, subtle sort of performance, textured. I love him. I think if I have a vote in the SAG Award. Oh no, you know what? What's weird is he got snubbed at the SAG Awards.
Oh.
He did not get nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
Shocking, because he was wonderful.
Yeah, he was fantastic. Adam Sandler's in that category. Benicio del Toro, who I thought had a real chance to win, and then Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein, who won the Critics' Choice Award. He's great. If I had a vote, I would vote for Adam Sandler, but I know you dislike Jake Kelly, the movie.
I did not like it at all. I had no connection to it.
I loved it.
I thought it was
loved it.
Obnoxious.
Really?
I did.
George Clooney holds the screen like nobody else.
He's a good-looking guy. I'm not saying that he's not a good actor. I didn't like the story. I wasn't moved by the story. I really was not invested in anybody in the movie.
Yeah, that is so different for me, because I thought the relationship between Adam Sandler's character, the manager, and Jay Kelly, played by George Clooney, was really, really cool, emotional, touching. It wraps up in a I think a beautiful way. I love the movie. I love Clooney. I'm a huge Adam Sandler fan. I hope he gets a nomination for Best Supporting Actor. I don't think he's going to win, but I hope he at least gets a nomination. He's never been nominated before. Best Supporting Actress, Tiana Taylor, who won for One Battle. The other players there, I think, are Ariana Grande, Wicked for Good. And that's actually, I should say, that's not a movie that I saw. I've seen every movie except for The Secret Agent and Wicked for Good. And then Amy Madigan for Weapons. I think it's going to come down to, at the Oscars, Tiana Taylor or Amy Madigan. What do you think?
She was creepy.
Oh, she was so
and
creepy.
It was such a departure from anything I've ever seen her in. It's kind of like you had to take a double take. It's like, is that Amy Madigan? Yeah. She was really, really good. Who else was nominated?
Don't have it in front of me.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But Amy Madigan, I think, has a real chance to win. You saw Ed Harris. Her husband was in the crowd. This is the first time he's gone to an award show with her as opposed to her going with him, because he's been nominated multiple times. So it's nice to see her get her moment. And Weapons, I think, is an incredibly haunting movie.
Yeah, I don't think Tiana Taylor. I think Tam Taylor's going to win. I really do.
I think it's likely.
I think it's one battle after another. It's going to be a really, really big year for them.
Big sweep. Yeah. Let's do a little TV here. Best Drama Series. I mean, The Pit, for me, is the best drama series. It is. It just came back. In fact, there's a new episode in my queue right now, episode number 2 for season 2. Absolutely love it. Not Stepdad Leo's grandson is an ER doctor. And by the way, you'll hear this from doctors and ER nurses and all that kind of stuff. It is so friggin' realistic. And Noah Wyle is so good as Dr. Robbie. He won as well. The Pit beat Pluribus, Severance, and The White Lotus. If you had a vote, which of those would you vote for, Sue?
I would vote for The Pit for sure. I think it's really great. And it's, it's not easy to do something different with a genre that has been done over and over and over again.
Yeah. And I also think that's such a great ensemble cast. And I think, like, for example, at the SAG Awards, just wrap it up. A great big ensemble cast, really interesting actors, really interesting characters, the way they come together and the way they have issues with each other. I just think feels so real to me. And Noah Wyle is the guy that absolutely makes it work, along with Catherine Lanasa, who plays the head ER nurse, who I just think is amazing.
She's great.
Best comedy series, well, it was the studio's year. I mean, it had to be the studio. It beat Hacks, Only Murders in the Building. Jean Smart won Best Actress Comedy. Seth Rogen won Best Actor Comedy. Any issues, any problems there?
No, not at all. It's such a funny show.
It is so funny.
And he's great. He deserves it. Everybody in that show deserves it.
I completely agree. Go back. This is the last time we are going to talk about the series Adolescence as part of an award ceremony. It already won. Let's see, it won at the Emmys, it won at the Critics' Choice, it won at the Golden Globes, and it is, I think it's an amazing series. It came on a little bit like Baby Reindeer, like so out of the box and so different. Stephen Graham, who won Best Actor and is the creator of the show, fantastic. Although I will say, and I won't say, I will say, he's a very short man. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
I just like and his co-producer, it's not so much that he's short. His co-producer is a really tall guy.
Well,
so when they
is he really
microphone,
tall? Is he really tall? Is it because Steve is so short?
He's regular size because Stephen Graham is there. No, Stephen Graham, I don't want to make, well, I guess.
No,
I
he's great. Well,
he's
you know what? A lot of great actors are very short. Pacino's short. Tom Cruise is short. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, so.
Erin Doherty won for Best Supporting Actress. She is the therapist from the middle of those 3 episodes, and man, was she good. And then Owen Cooper won for Best Supporting Actor. He was the kid that the whole thing was about. I think Adolescence is a pretty landmark show that I will think about years from now because of the fact that each episode was a oneer and was so carefully choreographed an entire hour going to a facility, a hospital, going back home, going to a therapist, and every minute you are with them. I just think the choreography and the direction and the way that show is produced is unparalleled.
Right. And to do it for 4 episodes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Really, really good. Really good. So overall, excellent Golden Globes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want to remind everybody, you should not forget, if you're watching right now on YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave us a comment or a review or a show idea or anything like that. We appreciate when you do that. All right, our guest today, he has transitioned from being the lead anchor at KTTV Fox 11 in Los Angeles to a new show. The Story Is with Elex Michaelson on CNN every night from 9 to 11 p.m. Pacific here in LA. Elex Michaelson joins us. Elex, thank you very much for coming on, man. How you been?
I've been great. I mean, the best part of this new gig has been the Steve Mason multiple appearances and all the fans that we hear from all over the world of Steve Mason. So it's great to see you.
By the way, to me, it's not lost on me that I'm on CNN. That's like crazy. I'm on CNN. I'm in hotel rooms around the world. People are watching right now. That's incredible. That must be, first of all, how did it all come together for you? How did you wind up going from Channel 11 to CNN?
Well, I had sort of pitched this idea. Well, first off, I first interviewed at CNN way before I even started at Channel 11. I think I first interviewed there 14 years ago. So it's been a long time coming. About 5 years ago, I pitched them this idea of what if we created a show for the West Coast, because it's so crazy to me that at 9 o'clock, which is primetime TV on the West Coast to half the country, CNN, then MSNBC and Fox News Channel all go to reruns.
Yeah.
So if there's anything happening, any breaking news, there's nothing for us.
Yeah.
And so we should have our own show. And I would go on sometimes on Fox News and they have Trace Gallagher, who does a nice job here in Los Angeles. His show's on at 8 o'clock our time. And I thought, CNN or MS, like somebody else could do that.
Yeah.
And there's an audience for that. And there's so many players also on the West Coast, not only politically. I mean, we look at what could be the next Democratic nominee for president, Gavin Newsom. We had the last Democratic nominee for president in Kamala Harris and Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff and all the players that are out here on the West Coast. But you think about technology, Silicon Valley, which drives the whole world. And including all the stuff we're using right now to do this podcast was all created in Silicon Valley. The entertainment industry, the entertainment capital of the world, and all of it here. And then sports. Look at what's happening right now in Southern California between the Dodgers, the biggest team in the world in baseball, the Lakers, the biggest team in the world in basketball. Great, the playoff teams, and the
Rams are winning. Yeah.
The LAFC with it's Sonny and it's a worldwide thing. I mean, all of these LA teams are international teams that are recognized around the world.
So you went from doing a local TV show, right? And now you're global. What's the biggest change as far as your access now is probably so broad. I mean, you as far as choosing who comes on your show, how much of that is you saying, I want this person, that person, that person?
I mean, there's definitely some of that, of trying. I mean, I do think people are more likely to say yes now than they were before to come on. The other thing that's interesting is that people are more likely to come in. I think we have a really nice facility, as Steve has seen, and I think it's kind of cool to come in. And so whereas before, a lot of times I would have to go to somebody else on their time, they're a little bit more likely to come to us on our time and our turf, which has made life easy. But it's been overwhelming and kind of exhausting. I mean, I worked mostly on Fox 11. I did the 3-hour nightly shows, and then my real heart and soul was our show we called The Issue Is, which was on once a week, and it was a half hour. And I poured all my heart and soul kind of into that half hour once a week. And now we're doing 2 hours live every night. So it's 4 times The Issue Is every night.
Yeah.
So it's we're doing 6 or 7 guest segments a night, as compared to doing, for The Issue Is, 1 or 2 of them a week.
Right.
So it's been a lot of work, but very cool to have the opportunity. And the thing that's been really fun that they've given us the chance to do, which is what I love about both of you guys, is people are multifaceted. Like Steve and Sue, both of you are great experts when it comes to sports, but great experts when it comes to pop culture, and really smart news junkies, I think our show reflects that so much. I think of cable news, especially during the day, is all politics. And I'm as big a political junkie as anybody, but there's more to life than just arguing about politics.
Sure,
right?
sure.
And
Now,
so I
one-
think we have this space to do other kinds of things.
One thing that you do, and you can talk about this a little bit. I don't know if you're aware of this, but the country is very polarized now. I don't know if you've clued
Really?
into that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I find that you walk a certain line. Does that make sense to you?
Oh yeah. I mean, I try. It's really hard. It's
Yeah.
a tough position to be in, which is to try to actually create a place where people can have a conversation. I mean, I feel like the division is so scary and so sad and so upsetting that if we don't learn to talk to each other, we're going to have another civil war.
Yeah.
And you look at what's happening in the streets right now, and the way that people are talking past each other.
Yeah.
So what I hope to do is to do my small part. Obviously, I can't fix it all myself, but I can control me. And
Yeah.
what I want to do with my platform and my space is create a place where there can be dialogue. And that doesn't mean you don't ask tough questions of both sides. That doesn't mean that you're not pressing. That doesn't mean there isn't conflict,
Right.
because conflict is healthy. What it means is there's a baseline of mutual respect in the tone of how you talk to people, in acknowledging each other's humanity when possible, in trying to find ways to see some of our shared experience so that we're not always apart on everything. And oftentimes also, Steve, I think some of it is trying to get people in the same room,
Yeah.
because there's a very different dynamic if somebody's in a Zoom camera screaming at somebody and then they can just turn it off. It's different when you're in the makeup room together, you're in the green room together, you're sitting in the commercial break together, and then you've got to start maybe making small talk, and you start talking about each other's kids, or you start talking about the Dodgers or the Lakers, or and then you start finding, oh wait, maybe there is something that we have.
Maybe there's something in common. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would never be able to do what you do, because if I was talking to somebody who I knew was so full of shit, I would just be like, you were so full of shit. Like sometimes I'll watch a reporter, or I'll watch, an anchor, and I can't believe how the restraint that they have when they know someone is lying. Like, no, really. No, really. And especially in light of how inflammatory everything is these days, I would never be able to do it.
My red line, though, is lying. And if somebody is lying, I think that there's a responsibility as the anchor to call that out, to try to fact check them in real time, and to try to, share, to be an honest referee in a situation like that. I don't have a problem if somebody has an opinion that's different than mine or different than the guest. That's kind of the point. But if you're coming with facts that are provably inaccurate, I don't think that we should allow you to just blab on with bullshit.
Yeah.
Now, you know what? You know who I would be if I was talking to people who would just
Here we go.
just listen.
Yeah. I'm listening.
I would be, and I'm pulling out a reference that's very old, but I would be like Warner Wolf, and it was like, let's go to the videotape. That's what I would do to just get people to just account for the dishonesty.
My hero, one of the people that made me want to be a broadcast journalist, was Tim Russert of Meet the Press.
Oh, he was great.
Oh, yeah, he was great.
He was so good at doing that, which was using people's own words against him. I mean, The Daily Show is so good at doing that too, with Jon Stewart, with this idea of going to the videotape. And I think part of the reason that Russert was able to do that, first off, it was a totally different media environment, so people needed him more than he needed them, which was a nice thing in terms of booking. But people's attention spans were longer. And so Russert would have somebody for an hour, or we'd have them for 30 minutes. And if you have somebody for 30 minutes, you can do that. You can ask them the same question 3 times. If you have somebody for 5 minutes, you ask them 3 times, that's the whole interview. And you got nothing else out of it. And so I think part of the way that as our attention spans have gotten shorter, and some of the, especially the Sunday shows, have made their segments shorter, I think you actually miss out on some of the opportunity to do some of those follow-ups that you're talking about. That's one of the things I've been pushing here is actually, let's maybe do less segments, but do the ones that we're doing better. And give them more
Well, but I also think we do live in a climate now with the introduction of, alternate facts and fake news, where everything is questioned on both sides,
Yeah, and there's also a sort of shamelessness about the truth that certainly Donald Trump did not invent, but certainly has expanded upon in a way that is, I mean, Trump's feeling clearly is never, ever, ever, ever admit that I was wrong, regardless of what's in front of you. And he has entire life sort of created his own reality, and it's kind of worked out for him, right?
It has worked.
The guy's,
I mean, it has worked.
President twice. He's a billionaire. He's got, his kids are making all this money. I mean, it's kind of worked for him, and he's never really been held accountable by anybody. For a minute, it looked like he was maybe going to be held accountable with some of this January 6th stuff and all the rest of it. Then he wins, and kind of all that goes away. And now he's going after everybody who went after him.
Right.
So the sort of lesson to the country, which is not particularly healthy, I don't think, has been maybe that works.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, if you know who's holding him accountable, Sue 𝐂𝐍𝐬𝐬 on her Facebook page.
Okay.
I am telling you. Sue she has drawn a red line. Her Facebook page makes very clear her positions on everything.
Well, someone told me, because I went to Portugal recently, and someone said to me, you really need to get rid of everything that you have on your Facebook, because you're not going to be allowed back in the country. And for a minute there, I was like, do I really have to do that?
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't, who knows? I mean,
who knows?
Scary times. Scary times.
All right, so let's do some other stuff. I sent you guys some stories in advance. We'll get away from that. And one of the stories is this show that has become an international sensation. It is called Heated Rivalry. It's this steamy gay hockey show based on a book called Game Changers by Rachel Reed. It's created for television by Jacob Tierney, stars Hudson Williams and Connor Story. And I got completely wrapped up in this thing right away. It's 2 professional hockey players who are secretly hooking up. And I think it's just, I'm so fascinated by why it has caught on to such a huge degree. Why do you think?
Yeah, it's really interesting, because at first it started sort of as a gay cult favorite. And now it's become this massive cultural favorite that's gone way beyond the gay community, and is this very popular among women.
Women, yes.
Straight women seem to love this idea of gay sex and hockey.
I don't know. It's like the Dreyfus affair on ice.
Do you like it, Sue?
Yeah, do you like it, Sue?
I really don't like it. And I'll tell you why I don't like it.
Okay.
It feels very kind of Hallmarky to me. It feels a little hokey to me. And I'll tell you, the greatest male love affair, sexual, explicit sex that I had ever seen was Fellow Travelers.
Fellow Travelers is a great show.
It, to me, does not hold a candle to that. I just don't. It's fluffy.
But
to me.
600 million minutes of viewing just in the U.S.
But maybe people and this climate of so much tension, of all the division that we talked about, of all the negative headlines, maybe people want fluffy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe people want this idea of a love affair that feels kind of Hallmark. A lot of people like Hallmark movies.
They do.
For a reason. They got a market. They got a pretty big fan base. And so this sort of, it's gay, but kind of uber masculine gay, love story that's, I mean, I don't know, maybe there is something there. And I liked it. I thought it was like a nice story that felt real. I thought the fifth episode was the best one. I thought the sixth episode in the cottage was
See,
kinda
I've
boring.
only seen 3 episodes.
Oh,
Oh, so no spoilers. By the way, the thing I love about the show, Elex and Sue, is that it feels like my life from my 20s.
yeah, I was gonna say, if they're not winning you over with this show, then they're
I
having
mean,
a hard time.
I was by all account, I mean, outwardly, everybody knew me as straight. And meanwhile, I was sneaking around behind the scenes, sometimes even like using fake names and stuff to try to cover. And I don't want to be seen there, and I don't want to be seen with her or him or whatever. It captures all that sort of scary, dangerous intimacy that I was involved with in my 20s until I finally came out at 28. And that's the part of it that works for me. By the way, it has virtually nothing to do with hockey. Like it's
Yeah,
a
Yeah.
hockey romance, but there's no real hockey in it.
Right. But, and I was thinking about you, obviously. How could I not think about you when I'm watching the show? Just because, when we worked together in New York, you weren't out to
Yep.
anybody that we were doing, that was at the station.
Yep.
And as a close friend of yours and a comrade of yours, I really felt for you. I mean, the fact that you had to hide that part of your life.
Yeah.
So in that respect, there's something very, very compelling about that in the show.
And
Yeah.
isn't
Sure.
it nice that there's now a place where people like that can feel seen, and maybe people in their 20s or 30s or whatever it is will feel more comfortable with themselves or having these kinds of conversations. I mean, that
Yeah.
part of it is really nice.
All right, so this is kind of a wonky story that I am fascinated by. I'm not sure if it catches you guys' attention the way it does mine. But we just finished the Golden Globes, and Sue and I talked earlier on the show about the Golden Globes and the awards and all that stuff. I don't know if people realize this, but Penske Media is Jay Penske and Todd Bowley. They acquired The Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, Variety, and IndieWire, and the Golden Globes. Now, there is a real monopoly here. And part of it, the part that bothers me is that if you want to win a Golden Globe, owned by Jay Penske, you've got to place advertisements in all of Jay Penske's publications, website, Reporter, Variety, all that stuff. It just feels like a really corrupt scam to me. Do you think I'm overreading that?
Well, I don't know if this particular, all the specifics in terms of that. The Golden Globes has been corrupt since the beginning.
Yes,
Why the
has
show
been.
almost went away. I mean,
Yeah.
this concept before of the Hollywood Foreign Press and like 90 voters from, the Pennywise in Lithuania all of a sudden is getting wined and dined around
Yeah.
the world. I mean, the whole thing has been such bullshit. And even the way they do the categories by having comedies that aren't really comedies competing with dramas just as a way to get actors there. And then they do their first podcast winner, and it's one of their former hosts, Amy Poehler, who's worked at a podcast for less than a year. I mean, so I don't know. But I don't know if in terms of what you're saying, if it's directly related to the Golden Globes, but I do think the idea of every major entertainment publication being owned by the same company is not good. That would be like if NBC, CBS, ABC, and Fox all were owned by one person. So theoretically, it looks like, and it feels like to a reader, like these different publications are competing against one another. But in reality, they're really not.
Yeah.
And competition for most everything is good. It makes you better. That's why we love sports, right? Competing against somebody. And that was part of heated rivalry. This idea that these two guys were so good, they're competing against each other. They make each other better. And this idea that everybody's under one banner just breeds corruption in its nature.
Yeah, I didn't know a lot about all of this controversy, but when you presented this topic, I went online and there's a woman, was it Kirsty Flaw? Do you know she has a
I don't think
podcast,
so.
The Flossom?
Okay.
She's Norwegian, and she was a junket reporter, and she was a journalist, and she did a lot of promos with celebs. And I guess somewhere in like 2018 or 2019, they wouldn't let her be part of the Hollywood foreign press,
Mm-hmm.
and she exposed all of this years ago. And I just listened to this, it was on YouTube. I guess it's her podcast. And she just went off and just blasted everything about the Golden Globes, and a lot of what you said, how it's a scam. It's a total scam. And I guess there are actors that gave their Golden Globes back, like Tom Cruise gave his Golden Globe back some
That
years
was
ago.
during the scandal about diversity amongst the Hollywood Foreign Press voters, and there was definitely a huge issue there, and it actually got shut down for a year, and they ended up bringing it back. The one thing I'll say is we do not know a single voter. It is completely opaque. There is no record, no roster of who actually voted for the Golden Globes. The whole thing sounds so shady to me, and Alex, as you said, it's like ABC, CBS, NBC, all broadcasting under the same roof. We're not getting a diversity of opinion in the Hollywood trades, and I think that's a net loser for all of us.
And it's a reminder, though, that Hollywood loves two things above anything, and the Golden Globes gives them both of them, which is a lot of money and loving themselves.
Yeah, correct.
You get an opportunity to stroke the ego and make more money while doing it. So even though a few years ago it was really, really out of fashion to be in the Golden Globes and people were giving it back, pretty much everybody was there, right? I mean, all of Hollywood, with a few exceptions, was there to accept their awards and kind of grovel and enjoy the moment of the adulation. But at this point, we love the award shows to a degree. But isn't it just too many? I mean, it's exhausting. And if we're gonna do this many, can't we split up the winners so it's just more interesting?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
By the way, and this year, Alex, we were talking about this. It is unbelievably predictable this year. Like, one battle after another is absolutely going to win Best Picture. Paul Thomas Anderson is absolutely going to win Best Director. Like, there are very preordained categories that takes a lot of the drama out of this thing. So I think, again, you go to an award show, Critics' Choice, the same people win. Golden Globes, same people win. SAG Awards, same people win. It becomes monotonous.
Yeah, and you think about, there's so much great art that's not being celebrated. Like, for example, the show The Pit, which I think was great. I love The Pit.
Amazing.
Right? Amazing year. Noah Wyle was great. But you know what else was great? Like, Severance was great. It was great. The final episode of it was amazing.
Amazing,
there was incredible acting in that. You know, the Pluribus is great, which is just out now. Like, there's other things that are great, and because we've decided it's the Pit year, the Pit is going to win 4 or 5 awards, and all these other things are going to go home empty-handed. Like, it's it's just like, kind of frustrating watching the whole thing.
Yeah, it's like the Pit is the new bear, the bear. But just going back about the podcast too, they were saying how the choices in that category, it was all celebrity driven. I mean, it was like, there were so many amazing podcasts out there. And there are a lot of like conservative podcasts out there that are really good. And they were so in a little box.
Do you know why? Do you know why? Because Penske and the Golden Globes set up a way, if you wanted to enter your podcast and buy an introductory press, whatever, promotion, there was a set price you could pay for your podcast. This is where I think it's almost like pay to play.
Right. And I mean, love them or hate them, to do a best podcast thing and to not include Joe Rogan on the list, given his influence on everything culturally, is just not a serious examination of the best podcast.
I agree. All right. So the last thing here, I put this on the list. The single best thing you saw on television or at the movies in 2025. What comes to mind, Alex?
Well, all right. I really liked the final episode of Severance. I thought the finale episode of Severance was like a theatrical presentation that was just amazing.
Yeah. It is incredible. And by the way, the last shot of that, which is Britt Lower and Adam Scott, basically not wanting to become their outies and staying as their innies is like just for me, it's just like an iconic ending, and it froze. It was a freeze frame. It was like the end of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, where you see them kind of turning away from the door and going back to their innie life. And I thought it is incredible.
It was just
and then just seeing his wife there, like, really?
Yeah.
Like, are you shitting me?
That was just it was like so much build up to that moment, and it totally delivered. So that was my choice. What's your choice?
Sue, why don't you go?
I have to say the series Adolescence. And I have to say just the whole thing. And Steve and I were talking about it earlier, the oneer of, 4 episodes just shot as a oneer. It was such an endeavor. I mean, I thought it was brilliant and disturbingly entertaining. But I just thought it was an incredible, incredible show.
Okay. For me, it is a movie written and directed by Yorgos Lanthimos and starring Emma Stone. And it is called Begonia. Have you seen it, Alex?
I have not.
Okay. You got to watch it.
I have to say, I looked at the trailer. I'm like, I don't want to see this. I don't want to say very much about it, but it's like, let's see, what's the word? It's bonkers. That's a their
real
last
critical.
movie was bonkers too, right? Last year.
The two of them, they make bonkers movies. She's a bonkers character, and he's a bonkers director.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much. It is so friggin' good. The other thing that's interesting about this year, Alex, is that it's almost like I ran out of movies at some point. I've seen every single movie nominated except for one, the Brazilian film, The Secret Agent. But I've even seen all the foreign language movies this year.
Oh my God.
I am just like, and the foreign language movies are fantastic. Sentimental Value is great. It Was Just an Accident, an Iranian film, is terrific. There are great foreign language films this year. But for me, Begonia is bonkers, and it's the thing I remember. It's the one movie that I walked out of and said, damn, I did not expect that. Really good.
I thought Sinners was the best movie of the year.
Sinners is amazing.
And it just was like, wow. You're sitting in there, and what a theatrical experience, and the whole thing. And it was, and you know what? And again, why not honor a movie academy that people actually liked seeing?
Yeah. Yeah.
They do all these movies that are art house that are, I mean, I don't know. I think One Battle After Another was overrated. I don't know. Maybe I'm in.
Really? Okay.
But,
all right. That's a take.
And I also think that these days, many of the movies are good, but a lot of what's happening in streaming TV is as good, if not better. I mean,
100%.
They're movie style, especially if you watch it on a big screen. I mean, some of what's happening, some of the best TV shows now are unbelievable.
Yeah, they really are. They really are.
Right,
do you watch The Pit, by the way?
I love The Pit.
Yeah, The Pit.
I think The Pit was incredible, and it's so well done. We just had one of the actors from The Pit on.
Who did you have?
Who plays Javadi, the young star.
Oh yeah,
was on. Yeah, so it's been cool. That's been the fun part of this thing. We interviewed Jacob Tierney, the creator.
Oh, did you?
Of Rivalry.
Okay.
We did him early on in the process of all this stuff. So it's been cool to be able to now talk to some of the creatives behind a lot of this as well. But I mean, what a year for TV. The Pit's phenomenal. As we mentioned, Severance, The Studio. Such a cool show. I mean, Pluribus was really cool. There was great like The Beast in Me on Netflix was.
I love The Beast in Me. Yeah.
Production. I mean,
how do you have time to watch all this stuff, Alex?
I do it in drips and drabs. Like if I get maybe I get like one day off a month, and sometimes I just don't want to talk to anybody on that day. And like my day will be, let me watch an entire season.
That's great.
Like I haven't watched anything in the last week and a half, but sometimes I'll get a day where I get to do it. But there are many nights where, I work until 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning by the time I get home, and I'm so tired that I'll watch like 5 or 10 minutes at a time of a show. Sometimes.
Oh, really? Those increments.
Like I'll
watch, like a mini series.
Like the Landman episode will take me 4 nights to get through it, but it's great.
Yeah. Well, listen, this has been fantastic. Congratulations on the new show. I'm very honored to have been honored a couple of times, and look forward to doing more on the show.
Yeah, we need to have we need to get you two on together. Wouldn't that be a great
I'd
panel?
love it.
We got
Yes.
a pop culture panel of both of you.
Oh, that would be fun.
I would be thrilled. I would be thrilled with that. Well, listen, you're on every night at my house. And appreciate
Same
you
here.
coming on and making the time. And congratulations on the big jump.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys, for the support the whole way. I love the show.
There you have it, our friend Elex Michaelson, who's gone big time on us, Sue. Big time.
He's a class act. It couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
And let me tell you something. If you, we were joking about your Facebook page. If you want to talk about social media, man, oh man, Elex has got great social media. If you don't follow him on Instagram and on Twitter and on TikTok, he is terrific. Really, really good. And keeps you up to date on absolutely everything. All right, there you have it. That was a good show. I like that. We should do this again.
Okay, just tell me when you're free.
Okay, cool. We will we'll do it again soon. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. And we'll see you next time on the Culture Pop Podcast.